we went to the hospital. Um, it was kind of complicated because it was at night, if I remember well. We went to emergency. Hey strangers, hello Jess, and welcome to Ale Jess Adventures. And this adventure was from 2 years ago, and I really wanted to tell you about it because it was fun, it was something new, and then it turned into something a little bit scary for me. And I don't mean scary with terror stuff, I mean scary, like really, really scary and actually. So, this is, I don't know how to call this a story because it's a kind of complicated, confused. And I'm just remembering everything because I had confused some things. And this story was about 2 years ago exactly, or well, not exactly. For me, it's kind of exactly. It was the June 7th of 2015. And my mom and I decided to make a trip, more she than I. And I agree, of course. It was a trip. I love trips, I love adventures. So, of course, I agree to it. So, we woke up at 6 a.m., of course. I love waking up at really early hours. First, it was the first time that she was driving in a highway. I think also in a highway, like in general, and that long period of time driving, and it was kind of scary, but it was all fine. Except that the dead animals that you can find on the use a highway so much, and it's like poor little animals, but it's nature, I guess. At the outside of Ohio, I think, I'm not really sure. We kind of got lost and we needed a gas station, so we went to a kind of little town, and we went to the only gas station that was there, and we went to the convenience store, kind of, and there was a really weird guy attending that store, so it was kind of creepy, and the food that we bought there tasted horrible. But apart of that, the rest of the travel was fine. So we went to West Virginia. I have photos and some videos of that, so I will put it here, or I will just put my voice and put it in all the screen. We went to a hotel, a really nice bed and breakfast, if I remember well. And for some kind of reason, I love those hotels. I don't know why, but I really love them. Some of them are really comfortable. So, we went there, we checked in, we left our stuff, and we went to meet a friend. And we ate at Olive Garden, and I was feeling not well because of girly stuff. I hate that. But I returned to the hotel. We make a kind of I don't know how to say it. We went for a car travel around the little part of there because I really wasn't feeling well. And then everything was fine. We stayed at the hotel. The breakfast was delicious. I remember what I had from breakfast, and it was a strawberry muffin, if I remember well. And then we keep our way to Washington, and we arrived fast, if I remember well, except that we got lost because the enter to Washington is a kind of weird land, kind of labyrinth, a little bit. So at the end, we found our way to the place we wanted to go, and a friend was waiting for us there. And of course, like, I wasn't feeling well. I was kind of grumpy. Oops. We went to near the Capitolium and all those beautiful buildings, and we parked there. We went near the Capitolium, took some photos, and returned to the car. And our friend took us in a kind of fast car tour around the city, and he kind of took us for the beautiful buildings that are important. And I was kind of shy to ask my mother to stay there more time because I wanted to go to the Smithsonian Museum. She went there once. I've never been there, and I would love to go there because it's so beautiful, and I love history and museums, and those kind of museums, I love them more. So I didn't. Whatever. So after the fast tour around Washington DC, we found a hotel that it was kind of creepy and old and full of mosquitoes outside. Unless, like, I wasn't feeling well, I stayed in the room, and my mom went out, and when she returned, we asked for a pizza, a really delicious pizza, I want to remember. And then we made the return trip to Columbus, Ohio. I really enjoyed the views there. I forgot to mention, when we were seeing it at the hotel, there was a kind of storm, so that's really fun. Actually, it's kind of creepy when you're in another place and there's a kind of storm because, or those kind of things, because you don't know what to do or how to react to that, because it's not that normal in your country, or you don't know how the things are in another country. I don't know how to explain it, really, actually, but it's kind of scary sometimes because I don't know how to explain why. Because there are a lot of more trees and more nature, so the storm can kind of are stronger than here, so it really freaks out a little bit. And continue with this, and that's just something that I have to say. And then we really enjoyed the view returning to Columbus, and we stopped outside Columbus, and I found a really pretty art supply store, and we went eating to a kind of restaurant that we wanted to go, but we didn't before because we didn't have the chance or choice. So we went there, we had a really good meal, and we returned to our home that it was close, less than 2 hours, I think. And when we arrived home, my mom and I were staying in different rooms, and I started to feel bad and she started to feel bad. I really don't remember how sick I was, but I remember that 2 days I was totally lost. Just went to the bathroom and returning. I don't remember if I had the flu or had an stomach sickness. And for the third or fourth day of that week, I realized that I hadn't seen my mother in kind of 4 days but I could hear that he was sick too. So one of those days I was like, "You're really sick, and you look really sick. I can't have you here anymore. I want you to go to the hospital." And she ignored me. Then the friends that we were staying with arrived, and I begged her to go to the hospital, and our friend agreed to that. And actually, I didn't have something to take with me. I just had my Chromebook that I had at that time, that is still in Ohio. The phone that I had, and I didn't even took the camera, and I don't remember what else I took with me because I really wasn't sure what to do or blah blah blah. You understand things that you have to think fast. You don't think well about what you need. So, and like I said, I didn't took the camera with me, and I regret a lot about it. We went to the hospital. It was kind of complicated because it was at night, if I remember well. We went to emergency, and I was with her all the time. I didn't want to leave her alone. And as you can see, I speak well English, but I'm not that expert to know medical terms. But when she passed, the doctor asked her to tell her some things, like the operations that he had or illnesses that she had, and I tried my best. I did my best, and the doctor understand me till some point, but till some point he wasn't sure that I was saying the things that I wanted to say. So they couldn't interpreter. I don't know why they did that. Because then we went to another place, I think. Yeah, in the emergency room, they asked her some things, and then they took her to another room, I think, to ask her more stuff. And oh, they passed her to another, yeah, to another kind of small room to make her some tests and things like that. So, the I was listening to what my mom was saying in Spanish, and she speaks well English, or better than I do. But she being sick, she wasn't sure what she was saying or what she wanted to say right in English. So she decided to speak in Spanish, and the interpreter will tell the doctors in English. And I was sitting there really worried because I didn't know what my mom illnesses was, and at some point the doctor asked, I think was a female doctor this time, asked her something, and the interpreter didn't know what to say, and I was like, I just told you that she had this, and this. Why didn't you believe me completely? I didn't say a thing, but I was like, then she tried to explain the operation like something has been removed from her. I was like, yeah, this thing. Oh, thank you. And I was like, I know more than you that are the interpreter in a hospital. Fucking really? I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. But I didn't say a thing. Later I was like, I'm more worried for my mom. Relax. Peace. Then they took her to a room with another patient, and I think that the patient was a patient with cancer. It was a she, and was with her husband, and I really admire her. I really don't remember now why, but I think that she really enjoyed her life and she was still doing it, even if she was sick. So, um, like we arrived late. I don't remember if I ate something or not. I think I didn't. So I went to um in that floor there was a room for there was a waiting room and there were two or three um there were two or three vending machines, and I just grabbed I don't remember if a Coke or a Dr. Pepper that have a lot of sugar, and a kind of treat of I don't remember really well. Well, I remember, but I don't remember how it's called. And I think they exist here too. Those kind of um bars of inflate rice, that thing. So I ate that, and my mom was like, "Are you really gonna eat that?" And I was like, "You're not going. You don't want to go home. You want to stay with me?" And she was like, "Okay, fine." So I stayed there. I couldn't sleep that night. Actually, um, 2 days ago, I was looking at Facebook um, memories, and I look at, oh my god, I'm at the hospital. I'm fine, but I'm at a hospital. And I realized that I couldn't sleep and that I wasn't feeling well, because I think that's the first time that I realized that I had anxiety attacks. Um, because I don't remember if that night or the next day. Um, I had my. I don't remember if I had my computer or my cell phone, or if for that time my cell phone died. But I was talking with a friend from Portugal that I really love and I really miss talking with him. And I was like, I'm crying, I'm shaking, and I don't know what I'm having, but I don't feel well. And my mom, blah blah blah. And I was like, and he was like, Ale, calm down. And I started to check, and I told him, I think I'm having an anxiety attack. And he was like, yeah, you're having it. Because I have them too. Sometimes I was like, no, why? And I really started to cry. Because sometimes when I have anxiety attacks, I start to cry and shake a lot, and those are the worst kind of anxiety attacks for me. And then I could calm down. My friend tried to calm me down, and he could. He supported me, and I really appreciate that. Cause if being in another place isn't scary enough, being in another place, kind of alone, with your mother sick in a hospital, that's terrifying. And starting to think about money, about bills, and about all those stuff makes it worse. So I couldn't sleep that night, of course. I don't know if that night or the day before, they told us that she had a kind of infection, and that infection went to. I don't know if it was a stomach infection, but that infection kind of passed to the blood. So it was a blood infection. Not nice at all. Because it only makes me worry more and have more anxiety. And my the next day in the morning, my mom told me, okay, you have to eat something. You can be here not eating a thing. I was like, but I don't want to leave you. And she was like, go and explore the hospital. I'm sure you will find something to eat. And I was surprised by the hospital because when I wasn't looking and paying attention, she asked her nurse, by the way, the two nurses that attend her, they were really hot. Yeah, they were. So she asked one of the nurses, and I was like, traitor. And they told her that downstairs in the lobby flat there was Starbucks and Subway and cafeteria, and I was like, really? And of course I had to go to, I don't remember where I went first, but I remember how my days turned to. Because even if my mom was sick, everything started to go really smooth and cool, and it was kind of awesome. Because here the hospitals are way far from that. So, I went downstairs, and I went for a caramel cappuccino, if I remember well, to have energy and sugar. And then I went for a Subway, and I have my own way to make a BLT Subway, adding chicken to it. And the girl was like, can she do that? Can she does that? And the guy that was near her told her, didn't you see how she asked it? Of course she can. She asked it before. And was like, And someone next to me told me, that's a really good idea. You're adding more nutritional stuff to that Subway. And I was like, yeah, that's really great. Thank you. It was kind of funny. And then I went to the cafeteria part, and I bought a Dr. Pepper and a Coke and more drinks to stay awake the more I could. And I don't know, it was kind of fun. Or not, I can't say. I know it sounds cruel. My mom was at a hospital. She was sick. But it was kind of cool. Really, it was. So my days turned into that. Unfortunately, I started to feel bad because I couldn't ask for a bath. Because that was asking too much. And then she passed to another room where we could be alone. And then till that day I could finally sleep. But it was till the fourth day. I remember that it was kind of a week or more that we actually lived in a hospital. She thinks that it was less than a week, and I'm pretty sure that it was more than a week. And the way the people at the hospital treats you, or well, the way they treat us, was kind of amazing. I was really amazed by the amazing people you can find there. And someone will tell me, well, that's in every hospital. Actually, no. And I was really amazed and thankful for it. So then from that room she started to feel better, and they just let her go home like that, as that easy. Of course she had to pay for some part of the hospital stuff. If I remember well, there are some kind of, or were some kind of aid for different kind of people. So if you enter the hospital and you say you have to go to the administration and ask for aids for different kind of things. I don't really remember. I know that we went to the hospital later to solve that. But I think that story ends here. It's a kind of weird story. Of course, it was a huge adventure. From Columbus, Ohio to West Virginia to Washington, D.C. to Columbus to a hospital. I don't know, those kind of things makes you realize how the world can be a roller coaster. One day you're up and the other day you're down, or the other minute, the other hour. And that's why I really learned to appreciate life and live it the best I can, even if sometimes I don't do it, because I have another things in mind, and or I can do as much as I want to do. So while I was telling you this story adventure, I was remembering a lot of things. For example, the reason why I stayed at the hotel, the reason why I was feeling bad in the hospital, because I used to take a bath every day, and being in a hospital for more than a week, it's kind of gross, not taking a bath. And it's not just gross, it kind of starts to affect your skin and a lot of things. So even if I was trying to be cool, I didn't have a change of clothes, and I just had what I had there in that moment. The things that I pack and went, my laptop, my cell phone, and those clothes, I stay with those clothes all the time. So of course it was uncomfortable at some point, but I mean, of course it was cool. It was a nice, not nice experience. I really appreciate everything that happened. Not that my mother was sick, neither that I was sick, but it really makes you realize a lot of things and enjoy a lot of things. Because even if we were sick, we were trying to look at the fun part of the things, or at the good part. For example, the nurse that was attending the lady with cancer had a lot of tattoos. And fuck yeah! The nurse said that some people asked her about the tattoos, that if that affects her job. And she was like, of course not. And she have them, and she's so proud of them. And she was talking about that with the lady, and I was like, I'm so proud of my tattoo, and I support you, of course. I don't know, I mean, I've been in a hospital here in Mexico. One, because I was sick, and the other, I visited my mother when she was also sick. And I have to say that when I was in the hospital, I kind of was scared, afraid, I don't know, with a really bad feeling. And the day when I went to see my mom, it was also kind of scary. That it was really scary. And in this hospital, it was kind of cool, fine. Even if when there was not that much light, it was kind of creepy, but apart of that, it was really cool. And the hospital food. The last day, they forced my mom to eat something. She didn't, but I did. She asked for a pizza. The hospital menu had a pizza on it. and more kind of stuff. How cool is that? Okay, so that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this Ale Jess adventure. I think I will come with more and shorter stories because this was a really long one. I'm sorry for the time. So I will see you in the next video. And thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe here. And you can watch these videos. So thank you so much. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!